The U.S. State Department has just released an exceptionally stern statement, publicly condemning the Cuban regime for its thuggish interference with Mike Hammer, the Chargé affairs at the U.S. Embassy in Cuba, and his team. According to us officials, on the 1st of February, while Mike Hammer was meeting with local residents, religious leaders, and political dissidents in the Cuban suburbs, he and his entourage were suddenly ambushed by several groups of unidentified individuals. Video footage shows these crowds shouting imperialists at Hammer and his staff. In its statement, the State Department explicitly pointed out that these so-called protesters were by no means ordinary citizens, but rather secret police and Ministry of the Interior personnel dispatched by the Cuban government aimed at intimidating American diplomats. Mike Hammer is a veteran career diplomat who assumed his post in late 2024. Since Donald Trump's return to power in 2025, Hammer has frequently stepped outside the embassy to engage deeply with Cuban society and opposition groups, leading the Cuban government to label him as persona non grata. Cuba has accused Hammer of colluding with the opposition during this critical time to coordinate with us efforts to overthrow its regime. Currently, the U.S. Embassy has issued a security alert urging American citizens in Cuba to avoid large gatherings. As Cuba faces a long-standing electricity shortage, this threat has directly led to skyrocketing domestic prices and intensifying social unrest. In this desperate situation, the Cuban leadership has realized that without negotiations, they may face a total economic collapse. President Trump told reporters on the south lawn of the White House, "Cuba is in a very tough spot right now. They are almost out of oil. We are engaged in very serious negotiations with them. I've always said I am willing to strike a great deal, one that is good for the United States and also benefits the Cuban people. The U.S. is demanding more market-oriented reforms and improvements in human rights. In exchange, the U.S. would lift the oil blockade." In a rare late-night statement on the 1st of February, the Cuban Ministry of Foreign Affairs notably omitted the word aggression, instead emphasizing a willingness to engage in dialogue based on mutual respect for sovereignty.